Welcome to Officelime Business Solution. In this video, we will be looking at people management. People management allows you to manage the employee in the entire organization. The system generates organogram automatically based on reporting lines. You don't need to take out time to draw out organogram. The system already do this for you. The system also allows you to manage company policy and allow you to track compliances across board. With the survey system, you can easily create survey dynamically and send out for people to fill out within the system and outside the system. The system also allows you to manage onboarding process, offboarding process, and allow you to see employee timeline across board. We also manage announcements. It allows HR to send announcements out to every department or business units, and allows you to also draft memo and make it public on the platform. The system is also inbuilt with notifications, so that if you don't receive mail notifications, you can receive notification within the application. Finally, we have reports. The system has HR analytics that allows you to crunch data on what you've captured in the beginning of the system. So let's get into the demo of the app. This is the login interface. We currently support Microsoft and Google, that is Office 365 and G Suite. We could also sign in with the email that has been registered by the HR for you, and you can also retrieve your login details using this part here. First time you are presented with the dashboard. The dashboard summarizes the entire application, so we'll be going into it one after the other. The first thing you see on the extreme left is welcoming you to Officelime, and this is where the announcement is displayed, followed by the upcoming activities. This dashboard is what is being displayed to the HR. So these upcoming activities shows people that are yet to be confirmed, number of people that are yet to be confirmed. This is 30 days upcoming activities. So we also have birthdays that are coming in the next 30 days. We also have trainings and followed by anniversaries. This is work anniversary. The next thing that we have that follows is the performance appraisal system. So we have for this fellow, his performance appraiser is in objective settings for the current period, and he can also see his team member from the dashboard if he needs to. The other thing that follows here is the workforce. So this is like a mini analytics, what you will get to see when you get to the analytic page. So here you can get to see the workforce, the headcount, the joiners, and the separators. So you can also see the graphs of how people are coming into the organization and how they are living. You also have a payroll that gives you the idea of how much you are spending per month. You also have the last thing on the bottom, which is the self-service. It talks about the company policy, survey forms, and you can also have access to the leave balances and make a leave request from there. We'll be starting off with the organizational model now. So clicking here, it shows us all the list of features that the organizational model has that the HR can have access to. The first thing we have on the left hand side is the company. So this part allows you to have more than one companies. So this will be helpful if you have subsidiaries. So you could create more companies and you can better structure the company. The next one that follows is the announcement. So the announcement, as we've said earlier, allows you to send out notifications, memo to employees across board. So we can just show you one or two things that the system does. So you have here, you can specify the subject of the announcement, the type of announcement you are trying to send out, the content of the announcement, and at the bottom you can then specify who the announcement should be viewable by, and who can also provide feedback on the announcement. You can also specify if the announcement should be delivered by mail, or you want employee to come to the platform to receive or to view those announcements. So once you create announcements, you can always delete them, unpublish them, or add them, put them back in the draft. The next thing that we have there is the HR analytics. So the HR analytics allow you to crunch data, allow you to see the data of what has been going on in your organization over time. So what we have here are groups of reports where we can see new hire, staff that has been exited, and you can see the gender distribution across your entire organization. If you have more than one company, you are going to see the system displaying other companies and their distribution in terms of data. You get to see workforce by seniority and age range. You get to see the workforce by seniority and also gender. We also have gender distribution by job role, distribution by department, and what have you. Then you have them in their headings. Okay, the last thing we have in the system is the organogram. The organogram allows you to see the company structure in terms of who reports to who. So the system plots this automatically based on the reporting line which the HR would have set up while creating the employee. The other thing we have, which is the main part of the system, is the employee itself. This is more like the employee database. It allows you to monitor all the employee in the platform. So you can view employee profile right from this section. You can create new employee, and the creation of the employee is in segments. You have their basic profile, you have the employment details, you have the salary, and then you have the access that they can have in the platform. So the creation of the employee profile can be done manually, which I just showed you, or you can take it a step further and deploy the onboarding process. So the onboarding process, as is stated, require you to provide the name of the person and their email, their personal email, and the idea is that this process is going to be sent to them, and they are going to fill up the process in another portal entirely. So as the name implies, it's an onboarding process. You specify the role that they want to fill, the department they will be occupying, the date they're supposed to resume, and also you specify their reporting line, the line manager, and this is supposed to send a mail to their manager so that they can follow up with the employee. So from there, the employee gets to see the mail, the invitation for them to start the onboarding process in their mail, and they get to complete that process from their end. So that side is managed end to end by this section here. It will allow you to see exited employee, people that have left the system. You can have access to them. You can also have people that have not been confirmed so that you can properly do a report. Another important thing, which is still under the employee, is availability for you to request, as regular employee, to request that their profile needs to be updated. So meaning employee can request that their name or other part of their details be changed. That request will be sent to HR, which HR would then follow up on. This time is ability for you to see employees, team members. You can see all the appraisals they've done in the past. You can see their trainings, their documentations in terms of their NYC documents or any other document that has been attached to them. You can also see them here. You can view their beneficiaries, their salary records, their leave history, and also their timeline in the organization. The next feature we have in the system is department structure. These allow you to display all the departments in the system. Of course, you need to create those departments and structure them in a way that mirrors your organization. So by doing so, you get to see who is available in the organization that is attached to a particular department. Like for example, admin, there's no one in this department, so you could actually disable this particular role if it is no longer needed in the organization, and it will be displayed on the platform as disabled. So you can also view who are in a particular department. The system also have a way to generate a view for you to see the structure of departments as relates to the entire organization. The next feature we have in the system is job role. The job role, just like the department, allows you to capture the job roles in the organization. You can also see people in those particular job role. Like for example, HR officer, we have 3 HR officers in the role, and you can also see what role report to which role, and by so doing, giving you a way to view the a tree view of what's going on by job role in the organization. In addition, the system also captures more information about each of the job role in the organization. So let's get to see what we mean by that. one of the very important thing is documentation of job. So this is lacking in major organization. This system allows you to capture job description, job category, job function, and also specify the grade level, more like the entry level for a particular job and the maximum level you can be in a particular job. So you also have job requirements that talks about the educational qualification, minimum experience, other requirements if need be, and the degree required to actually attain that particular job role. So we also have skills and competencies or proficiency requirements for each of the job. Like you could say you need Microsoft Excel skills for a particular role, so you could actually specify that. Or if you want other competency required, you can actually supply that, and this will be attached to this job role, so that in future people can know that this particular role requires this competency and this is the proficiency level required to be in that job role. So also under the organizational model is the self-service. The self-service allow every other person in the organization to have access to other things that they can't see in the organizational model, because the organizational model is actually meant for the HR, where they could manage and make adjustments to the core of the platform. So self-service is a place where employees have access to general modules. So one of the first things that we have here is the policy documents. The policy document allows the employee review the company policy. So this is in form of a text, so meaning they can read up on all this policy, and at the end the system mandates them to click here to confirm that they've read the policy. And this is if the people setting up the policy have requested that they need to acknowledge that they've read the policy. So this is a feature that makes sure that all employee actually acknowledge each of the policies in the platform, and this part can be updated, so it's not fixed. HR can actually create new company policy. They can modify the policies as is needed. So they could also check the report to see who has actually read each of the policy in the platform. They can say, okay, they want to look at HR policy or employee handbook to determine who has actually read what or acknowledged that they've read it. So that's available on the platform. Next up is the survey form. The survey form, just like Google form, allows employee to fill out forms that has been created by the HR. So if you are familiar with Google Forms, this does exactly like that and more, in the sense that it allows you to pick data from your own database. So let's get to see an example. So this is like a survey that says COVID test results. So this can be anything. You can change this form to be anything that you want it to be. So first of all, when you are creating the form, it allows you to create a title, the description of the form, and the data you want to collect from the employee. Because automatically, while creating a survey, anybody filling that survey, you already have those information about them, because they're going to be logged onto the platform first before they can do any other thing. So you have all this information about the employee. So you could decide, when you are capturing the report, you want to capture other information about them. So you could specify and include those options here. The other thing that we are also capturing, or we also want to put here as an option, is if you want this form to be filled just once. So you can specify that once they fill once, they can come back to fill it again. So we also have other options in the platform. So once that is done, the next thing I want to showcase is also update of the form, the functionalities of the form, what the form can allow you to do. You could have a text input. So this is where we build the form. So you could change the text input. Say here, this is a question you want to ask the hospital, and the data that they can enter is in this form. So we have various form of data. So we have string, text, number, we have money, we have date, we have multiple choice, and what have you. So you can ask those questions and receive those data in whatever format you want. So we also have best color. So this is just to showcase the options that is available to you while you are building your form. So also finally, we can show you the complex form, which is a grid form, multiple choice. is to have a kind of a multiple choice questions like this. So let's get to see how the forms look like so that you can appreciate what we just done. So this is the form, and here allows you to put the hospital here. Then you can provide number of children. You also here it specify only numbers. So this is what you specify where you are building this form. Then best color, you also saw here that it allows you to put only the options specified. Then here, your best friend in the organization, the system automatically can look through the database and pick only the employee based on what you specify. The system can also look through the departments and specify departments. Then multiple choice question, HR is going to like this because HR creates this kind of forms very well. So you can have this kind of complex form in the system. So this system can generate this kind of form for you, and that's what the survey form does. The next feature we have is grade classification, which is also similar to what we call management level. So you can use this to classify people or employee in your organization into lower, middle, or top management, and this is useful for analytics as well. We also have grade level. So grade level can also be used in form of where you want to have pay cadres in the system. So this is also a form of classifying employee in the organization. And finally, we have location. So location is also from what it is, allows you to specify where people are in the organization. So currently we only have one location for this demo, and you can see that everybody from the company are in a particular location. Systems allow you to create more locations because systems support multiple companies and multiple locations. So you can have subsidiaries in different locations, and the system can actually manage that properly. So other things we have in the system for audit purpose is employee roles. So employee roles, rights and privileges. So you want, at the push of a button, want to see who has access to what's in the platform. So this report actually gives you everything in terms of who has access and also who is using which license in the organization as well. It also gives you who is using the license. So this is more of like the operating license for Officelime for this particular demo. So you have various licenses in the system. You have the organizational module license, appraiser license, career, recruitment, and what have you. You also have, these are employees in the organization. You can specify to say who are the people using the organizational module in the platform. You can see them. You can specify who are the people using the appraiser module in the platform. You can also see them, and this is good for reporting to want to know who are the people that are using which of the license in the system. So the system also breaks it down to specify by job role, like which of the job role is using a particular license. So we have that as a reporting scheme in the platform. And last thing we have here is the settings. These settings allows you to determine when your company starts, because it's used in another part of the system. It's used in the leave system and also in the appraisal module. You can use it to determine when your company starts and when your company, the business start and end date of your company. You also have announcements that goes out automatically without you doing anything. Example is if you want to make birthday public and you want to send birthday notifications to everybody automatically, and you want to send to employee on other people's birthday, you want to notify them. You can also put anniversary pictures. If you want to send work anniversary messages, you could also indicate that there. And if you want those people that are celebrating their anniversary, that's work anniversary, to also participate in a form of a survey, you can provide a survey link right here. That will be sent across with the email that will be sent to them. So you can specify templates for each of your anniversaries, like if you have 1 year anniversary template, 5 years anniversary template. So we have them in this platform, so you can send them out, and so that they can have a very good visual message when it gets to them. Up next is employee exit process. So for the first time when you click here, the first thing that gets displayed to the employee is asking them if they want to leave the platform or they want to leave the company. So we have 3 easy steps that the system showed to them. First of all is for them to prepare the resignation letter and send to their line manager. followed by the completion of the exit interview questionnaire, lastly completing their clearance form. So all this stage will need to be followed before the employee can exit properly from the platform. So if they click here, the system is going to present them with a form and allow them to specify the document that they want to that contains their resignation letter. So they fill the date they want to leave the platform or the company, and then they drag and drop their letter there. Once they send this to the manager, it also goes to the HR at the same time. So both the HR manager and the manager receive this mail, and they can both work on it at the same time. So it has its own process, and after that has been attested to by the line manager, the system then sends a mail back to the employee for them to start their exit interview questionnaire, after which it will then follow by the clearance form. And the clearance form has its own process because it's going to go through all the parties in the platform. So the clearance form goes through the IT, goes through the internal control or audit, and goes through the finance department, and finally to the HR. So as a manager, the manager can come here to see, look for people that are trying to exit the platform. This is where they see people that are trying to leave the system. All employee, this is where the line manager, or rather the HR manager, get to see people that are about to leave the platform, and they can view and approve as the case may be.